Hey, 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 what's up? Coming to you live from the back porch in coastal Georgia. It's your favorite astro auntie, Yo the Spiritualist. Haven't been on in a while to talk about these wonderful astrological transits that we have going on, but at least once a season, I try to get on and talk about things because I know it's important that everybody, just stay abreast of what's happening so that you can plan your life accordingly. So I thought, why not? We are 4 days into summer. Happy summer solstice, y'all. Y'all give it up for summertime. Not my favorite time of year. I'm gonna keep it a buck. Okay. I'm a December baby. I'm already planning for Halloween. Okay. Fall and winter, those are my seasons. But to the summer babies, like my husband and some of my friends, my wonderful Cancer tribe. I am a Cancer moon, so shout out to the Cancers. Happy Cancer season to everybody. So I try to embrace it. And because I am a family oriented person, and Cancer is like prime mother, family, ancestor season, I found my way through 54 summers. So I'm surviving. Okay, I'm surviving. But yeah, it's the summer solstice. Happy summer solstice, happy Cancer season to everybody. Happy birthday, Cancers. Um, and the theme that came up for me, and the reason why I'm doing the video, is because I always try to have a theme for everything, right? I wouldn't be the teacher I am if I didn't. But the light reaches its peak right now, so that your roots can grow deeper. That's the theme. Um, and like I said, for the last 4 days, we have been in the throes of the summer solstice, where the sun has reached its highest peak, um, which that marks the beginning of summer, the longest day, and the shortest night of the year. This is a sacred threshold. I don't want to minimize it by any means. For thousands of years, cultures have celebrated the solstice around the world. They have honored this day, the day of the summer solstice, and the season as a time of abundance. It's a time of fertility and harvest, illumination, and divine blessings. If y'all start to hear the crickets and the katydids or whatever they call those things, frog is gonna start bullfrogging in a minute. So it's gonna be sounding like the Budweiser frog back in just a second. So when you hear Budweiser, you'll know what it is. Yes, I'm on the back porch. Yes, there's a creek that runs directly behind my dwelling. So, just prepare for that. But that's why I got my trusty, dusty microphone. So hopefully you'll be able to hear what I'm saying. Anyhow, I digress. But this is a time of divine blessing. It's the moment when the sun's light is the most powerful. The summer solstice immediately ushered us right on into Cancer season, and which is another time of profound spiritual truths. Um, but the brightest light isn't meant to blind us. It's meant to illuminate our roots. That's what happens during Cancer season. And so as the sun has entered Cancer, we're invited to turn inward and ask ourselves a few questions. And you could get your trusty, dusty notebook out if you want to and write some of these down, do some journaling, have some reflective thought time as, I hope you will beyond this particular segment. But these are questions that I would be asking myself. What supports me right now? What nourishes me? What am I growing? What kind of legacy am I building? Shout out to me for writing a whole ebook about family legacy intentions. And if you haven't picked up your copy, quick segue, go over to my link tree that is already linked to my IG and TikTok, as well as Facebook pages, Yo the Spiritualist, and pick up your copy. It's $10. I figure for $10, you ought to be able to write an intention for your whole bloodline. Okay. If you haven't gotten it already, I don't know what you're waiting on. Go ahead and get it. It's up there. It's a ebook and a workbook that will guide you through the steps. This is a perfect time to get on it. But another question I would be asking myself is, what deserves my protection right now? What deserves my protection? This year's solstice is carrying an even deeper message because Jupiter is still moving through Cancer and will be moving through Cancer until the 29th, which I believe is Monday. Okay? This is primordial seasoning time for you to be writing up your intentions for not only now, but for the future. Okay? Because right now in Cancer season, you have themes of family, home, ancestry, emotional security, and generational blessings that are being magnified. So the summer solstice, reveals what's already grown for us. That's what it does. And it helps us decide what is really worth nurturing in our lives. So we're tending our roots, we're tending our foundation, and we're tending our future. What's more important than that? What legacy are you building right now? Where do you truly belong right now? This season isn't just about physical homes, it's about your emotional home, your spiritual home, your ancestral home, and the foundation beneath every dream that you have. So I'm going to start out by giving some tips to each zodiac sign, and I want you to pay attention, okay? We're going to read first for rising, okay? Then sun and then moon. So you could check your big three. Hopefully you already know them. And if you don't, you can always plug into one of those wonderful apps like Cafe Astrology. You can plug into Chani. You can plug into Astro Seek, Astro Guide, any of those other great apps to find out what is your sun, what is your moon, and what is your rising. Because yes, my friends, you do need to know. Okay, so I'm going to start out by talking about my Aries folks. First rising, sun, and then moon. Aries. This solstice the spotlight is really on home. Home is your power source, okay? And Cancer is activating your fourth house. The fourth house is the house of home and generational blessings, ancestry. The mother resides there. Okay. So the longest day of the year, 4 days a year ago, was shining a light on your foundation. You might have found yourself reassessing some of your family dynamics, living situations, or your emotional needs. And that's cool because what the solstice was asking you to do, and what it is asking you to do, does the life that you're building, Cancer, have roots strong enough to sustain your ambitions? That's the question. Does the life you're building have roots strong enough to sustain your ambitions? And if not, what are we even doing? Okay. Cancer season is encouraging you to nourish your inner world before conquering the outer one. It's as simple as that. You should be growing stability, family healing, and belonging at this time. This season is pulling your attention inward, okay? Not on the external, but on the internal. So growth is going to come through things like home improvements, family healing, ancestral connections, creating emotional safety, and establishing stronger roots. I mean, what more do you want? This is time for you to really focus on you, okay? All right. So your foundational focus is your private life right now, Cancer. And here are 3 journal prompts I would be asking. Number 1, I would ask, what does home actually feel like? Number 2, what family patterns am I ready to break? And number 3, where do I need more softness in my life? We've heard of the soft life, the soft girl life. We all want to live it. So what do you need to do in order to make that happen? I don't know, but I know if you take the time to think about it, you can figure it out. All right, I'm moving on to Taurus. Taurus, your solstice spotlight is on your voice. Your voice carries legacy. Taurus rules the throat. It rules the vocal cords, okay? All right. So the solstice is illuminating your words, your ideas, and your personal story. Cancer season is asking you to explore things like family stories, ancestral wisdom, sacred conversations, maybe even teaching and doing a little writing. The wisdom that you've inherited may become the wisdom that you share. So you should be growing your communication style, your storytelling style, and your connections. All of these things are important. Okay. All right, I'm moving on because, oh, no, let me go back and say this. Cancer the Cancer season is activating your third house. Third house is the house of communication, of siblings, and things of that nature. So your roots are found through your voice. This season is supporting things like connecting with your siblings, and even maybe even tapping into some genealogy and learning your family history. Here are some questions that you might also want to ask. What story shaped me into the person that I am today? Which beliefs come from my family and which are mine? What truths need to be spoken today or this season so that you can become the truest sense of yourself? You should be focusing on your mindset and your communication. All right. Moving on to my Geminis. Where are my twins at? Y'all just got through y'all season. Okay, I hope that y'all had a great season. Happy belated birthday to all of the Geminis. Your solstice spotlight is on building wealth that feels safe to you. The solstice is shining or shedding light on your relationship with value. Gemini, that should be your greatest focus at this time. What is your relationship with your values right now? Do you know? Hmm? What allows you to feel secure? Okay, you need to be reviewing things like your resources, your prices. If you are an entrepreneur and you have products or services that you sell, you need to be reflecting on whether or not these prices really reflect who you are as a person. Do they? Are you devaluing yourself? Are you charging enough? Or are you underselling just to try to get people through the door? Because if so, that's a no. Think about income streams. Think about your self-worth. All of these are important things. What needs to be growing right now for Geminis? Your financial security and your self-value. Cancer is activating your second house. Okay. Second house is the house of values. Okay. Let's think about that. So Cancer season really wants Gemini people, whether rising sun or moon, really wants for you to consider your value. What do you need to do to build security in your life? It's not just money. I'm talking about real security. This is a powerful period for you to examine your income, your self-worth, your resources, your financial habits. Here are some questions that you might want to ask yourself or journal about. What makes me feel secure? What am I undervaluing? How can I create wealth that lasts? Okay. Again, Gemini, focus on value and finances for you to get ahead. All right, Cancers, you are up next. I need all my crabs to come to the front, the forefront. Your solstice spotlight, Cancers, is on becoming the sun. Okay, we already know you the moon. Okay, but for this season and for this, Cancer season as well as the summer season, which lasts until what? August, September. You need to focus on becoming the sun. The sun enters your house, your first house, okay? And so you're the living embodiment of this season's energy. This is your personal reset, okay? The solstice is illuminating who you've become. Who are you becoming next, though? That's the question that's being asked. You need to allow yourself to outgrow some of those old identities that no longer resonate, because there are some things that you really need to let go of, Cancer, okay? You need to be growing your confidence, your visibility, and your self-trust. This is your personal new year, so a major reset is underway for you. So you're being invited to even reinvent yourself if you need to. Tell a new story, tell a new tale. We already know who you used to be, but who are you becoming? Prioritize what your needs are, because Cancer is very family oriented sign. So what's happening is, or what has happened in the past is you probably put everybody else before yourself. So it's time for you to start putting you first. Because the sun doesn't wait for something else to come along and shine. It does all the shining itself. Yes. Update your image. Honor your emotional truth. Ask yourself these questions. Journal prompts. Who am I becoming at this time? What version of me has already expired? How can I nurture myself first? Okay. So right now you're focusing on your identity. Okay. And again, happy birthday. All right, I'm moving on to my Leos. Where are my Leos? No, it's not your season yet, Leos. I know you're ready. I know y'all already on bake 350, ready to come out the oven. Leos already roaring out there, but you gotta wait a little bit longer, okay? Cancers just got into the hot seat. You got about 26 more days. But at any rate, I still got a message for y'all. This is your sacred pause, okay, Leo? This is your sacred pause, all right? Because this is a 12th house situation we got going on, Leos. All right? Cancer is illuminating your 12th house. Yes. So the brightest day of the year, the summer solstice, illuminated what was hidden. What's hidden? Before your season begins, Spirit is inviting you into sacred reflection. And damn, these mosquitoes are biting. Told y'all I'm on the back porch and they already at me. Well, shook is sweet. So, I understand. Anyway, pay attention. You need to pay attention, Leos, to things like dreams, your intuition, some divine nudges that might be coming through, ancestral messages that are coming through. Not all growth happens in public, Leo. And I know that's hard for y'all to understand or to relate to, but I'm just letting you know. Not everything is public. Not everything is about being on stage. Okay. So, some of your greatest expansion, Leo, is going to occur underground. Okay. Um, this is about spiritual connection and trust. Before your birthday season arrives, Spirit is asking you to do one thing: rest. That's all you got to do. Take a break. This is sacred incubation period for you. You may feel called to pray, to meditate, do some dream work. Um, Go into solitude. You might even consider taking a solo vacation, a little mini break, a mini holiday, if you will. It's a good time for you to communicate with your ancestors too. See, I got mine right here at my back. It's some in my front and on my sides too, but that's my altar back there. And I'm not even a Leo. I have a Leo South Node, but still, I'm just saying. Here's some questions you want to ask, Leos. What am I preparing to birth? What needs to release? And what wisdom is trying to reach me at this time? You got to figure these things out. These things are very, very important for y'all. All right. So focus on your spiritual life during this season, Leo. All right, Virgos. Come on, my Virgo people. I'm a Virgo rising, so y'all know I love y'all too. I love everybody, but you know, I'm just saying we got a special connection. Virgos, your solstice spotlight is on future legacy. Okay. So you definitely need to be picking up a copy of the Family Legacy Intention Codex. Did I mention that that's on my Instagram and that's also linked to my TikTok and my Facebook as well? All you gotta do is click the link tree and get your copy. But anyway, okay, I digress. The solstice is shining upon your future vision. Okay, that's what's happening right now. People around you matter more than ever. Cancer season is asking you who is helping you water your dreams. Huh? Who's doing that for you? You need to evaluate your friendships, your communities, your collaborations, your partnerships. Supportive networks and long term goals should be growing at this time because Cancer is activating your 11th house, and the 11th house is the house of community. So your future is being restructured. This season is highlighting things like collaborations and networks and things of that nature. So focus on that. Now, you've got a couple of journal prompts that I definitely want you to focus on right now. And here they are. Who belongs in my next chapter? What legacy am I building? Which relationships nourish me? Okay. Foundational focus is on your vision for the future, Virgo. It's as simple as that. So get ready, get ready, get ready. All right, Libras, where my balance Libra scales at? I need y'all to come on down to the front. Libras, your solstice spotlight is on public purpose. What is your public purpose? And yes, Cancer is activating your 10th house, the house of career. Okay. The house of public reputation. Okay. So we're looking at reputation. We're looking at your career path. I just talked to a Libra earlier today, and I said, if you are not happy doing what you're doing, this is prime time for you to be doing or finding out what you really want to do and to focus on that. You should spend this entire summer manifesting the career of your dreams. Okay, Libras? You may receive greater visibility right now, recognition, or even opportunities. So put yourself out there. Don't be shy. You are the peacemaker of the zodiac for a reason. Everybody needs you on their team. Every team needs a good Libra. Cancer season is asking you, does your work nourish others? Okay. The most successful path right now is the one that aligns with your heart, Libra. You should be growing meaningful impact and leading. Don't need to be in the rear. You need to be in the spotlight. Your public life is really taking center stage right now. Okay. So let's polish it up just a tad, shall we? Your career, your reputation, and visibility are going to receive attention. So here are some questions you'll want to ask yourself. What am I known for? Okay. Does my work reflect my values? And what legacy am I creating at this time? Because you may find that your professional opportunities will emerge when your work is feeling emotionally meaningful. Okay. So we're focusing on two things this season, Libras, your purpose and your career. And you need to find the balance in them both. All right. Scorpio, where are you? Scorpios, your solstice spotlight is on expansion beyond familiar territory. Oh, Lord. Scorpios, what y'all gonna do with that information? The solstice is shining on your horizon. Things like travel, education, publishing, spirituality, higher learning, all of these things are receiving activation because Cancer is activating your ninth house at this time. Cancer season is asking you to trust where your soul is leading. Trust it. You got to trust the process, okay? Trust where your soul is leading you right now. You need to be growing wisdom and perspective. You're being called to expand, Scorpio. You need to be traveling. You need to be educating yourself. You need to be studying some spirituality, publishing, maybe even doing some teaching. And here are some of the questions that you need to be asking yourself right now so that you can make sure that you activate all of these things. What new horizons are calling me right now? What new horizons? What truth am I ready to embody? What beliefs need to be updated for me? All right. Focus is on wisdom. Focus is on expansion. Let's make it happen, Scorpio. You got the juice. You know you do. All right. I'm moving on to my Sagittariuses. Where are my archers at? Hello. Come on to the forefront, y'all. Your solstice spotlight is on transformation. And for you, transformation creates freedom in your life. And we all know Scorpio loves freedom because Sagittarius is ruled by Jupiter. Jupiter is the largest planet in the solar system. And so everything, for Scorpio has to be big, like Texas. Yes. So the solstice is illuminating what's ready to be released for you. Old fears, emotional burdens, inherited wounds may even surface for you. Cancer season is asking, what are you still carrying that no longer belongs to you? Some of that stuff is somebody else's shit that needs to be released. So I would consider that your liberation is found through surrender and nothing else. So you need to be growing trust, intimacy, and healing at this time because Cancer is activating your eighth house. This is a deep transformation. Eighth house is the house of taboos. Okay. The things that we don't really know if we should be talking about or not, but it's still an integral part of who we are. Your roots being tended, okay? The roots being tended are invisible. So this is a time of deep transformation. Think about the shared resources that are going to be highlighted right now. Intimacy is going to be a big thing for you guys right now as well. Trust, inheritances. Ask yourself these three questions. Where do I struggle to receive? Where is it hard for me to receive from others? What am I afraid to surrender? And what legacy am I carrying? As well as some of these other signs, you need to be picking up a copy of your family legacy intention codex. But I'm just saying. Okay. Capricorn, my sun sign friends, my sun sign tribe. Y'all come on down. If you're right, it's Capricorn is your rising, your sun, or your moon. This message is for you. Capricorns, the solstice spotlight for us right now is on sacred partnership because Cancer is highlighting our seventh house. The solstice is highlighting our closest relationships. That's right, them people that you lie in the bed with, the ones that you live with, the ones that are always in your space. Partners, clients, collaborators, loved ones. All of these people are becoming your mirrors right now. Ooh, child, what you gonna see when you look in it? That's the question. Cancer season is asking, what does mutual care actually look like for us? Ooh, that's hard. Relationships that are rooted in reciprocity are going to flourish. The ones that are not will not. They're going to fall by the wayside. So right now, what do you need to be doing? You need to be growing some healthy connections. Okay, whether they're personal or professional. You need to be looking at a couple of things. What do healthy partnerships look like? Okay, where do you need reciprocity? What relationships deserve nurturing, and which ones do you need to completely cut off? We're talking about one-on-one connections, because these things are going to reveal some very important lessons for you. All right. So good luck with that, Capricorns, because I know how y'all do. I know how we do. All right. Aquarius, where you at? Aquarius, rising, sun, moon. Your solstice spotlight right now is on your daily life, which creates your destiny. We're talking about sixth house energy, the house of daily habits and routines, okay, and good health, okay, or bad for that matter. So the solstice is illuminated with Aquarius and Pisces. My microphone died, so hopefully everybody will be able to hear me. Anyway, Aquarius, the solstice is all about wellness. It is saying that your daily life is what's creating your destiny right now. It's illuminating your routines. Cancer season is reminding you that your habits become your future. They also become your wealth. So this is a powerful period for you to examine things like your workflows, how organized you are, your health practices, your eating habits, your diet, your self-care. Small changes now are going to produce lasting results later on. So you want to focus on wellness and consistency. Cancer is activating your sixth house, which rules all of those things. So it's asking you to care for the caretaker, which is you. And your routines are what's creating a dynamic future for you. So you really want to be aware of that. So if you need to do some things to improve your health, do that. Form some better habits. Focus on sustainable systems. Things that you can keep going long term. Don't be unrealistic. If you know that you got limitations, then make sure that you stick to those. And make the goals manageable enough so that you can get some big wins and that you'll feel empowered. Here are some questions you want to ask yourself. Things like, how can I nurture myself consistently? What's draining my energy? And maybe even consider what daily practices are supporting you at this time. And if the practices that you have are not supporting you, then you're going to want to abandon those. So we're focusing on wellness and routine right now. Okay, moving on to my Pisces, folks. Pisces, rising sun, moon. Listen, the spotlight is on joy. And the summer solstice came through the other day and said, joy is sacred. Okay, because Cancer season is illuminating your fifth house, which is the house of play and creativity, the inner child. So the solstice is shining a light on your creativity and your self-expression, things of that nature. Cancer season is encouraging you to create, play, love, and enjoy life. This isn't frivolous play. This is medicine. It's medicine for your soul, okay? Your joy becomes a source of nourishment for everyone around you. When Pisces is happy, guess what? Everybody's happy. So be happy, Pisces. Make sure that you are focusing on romance. Even if you don't have anyone, romance yourself, okay? Take yourself out. Do something nice for yourself. A spa day would be amazing. Joy becomes medicine in this season for you, so make sure that you focus on that. You also want to ask yourself the following questions. Things like, what brings me alive? What makes me feel alive? What wants to be created? What do I need to be birthing at this time? And where have I forgotten how to play? Where have I gotten so serious that I've forgotten how to play? Your foundational focus right now is on pleasure and self-expression. So that has been your summer solstice / astrological service announcement for Cancer season / Get your butt up and do what you need to do to make yourself happy. Also, let me remind you guys that the Family Legacy Intention Codex is in my link tree right now. You can click the link in my bio and you can pick up a copy, because we have a few more days of Jupiter being in Cancer. This is going to amplify the intentions that you set right now, as well as Cancer season is going on for about another 26 or so days. So take advantage of that. Also, if you need to book a birth chart reading because you want to know more than just sun, moon, rising, and what all these planets sitting in all these houses and all these zodiac signs mean, and you want a deeper dive, you can also book that in my link tree. In addition to that, you can book other types of readings. I've got human design readings, I've got spiritual clarity readings, general guidance readings, I've got mentorships, I've got all kinds of stuff going on, child, over there in that link tree. So take a minute out of your busy schedule, go into the link tree in my bio and book the services that you need to amplify whatever it is that you're attempting to grow in this season. Again, summertime is also a time of harvest. So you want to nurture those things that your spirit is asking you to nurture. Okay? So this has been Yo the Spiritualist, your favorite astro auntie. And I'm signing off. Happy summer. Happy Cancer season. Peace.